Hey guys, it's Kaylin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to buy real estate with no money. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I would greatly appreciate it. So there's lots of ways you can buy real estate with no money. The first one, and probably the easiest one, is a joint venture or partnership. This is the way we bought some of our first deals. We have a money partner who puts up all the money and we do the work. And we set up an agreement where our money partner gets a certain percent of return, and then after that we split things 50-50. Not all of our deals are structured that way. Some of them are just a straight 60-40 split or a straight 70-30. It really depends on what your money partner is looking for. So that's the first point I want to talk about, is relationships. Relationships are the key to everything in buying real estate, especially when you're not using your own money. It's incredibly important to establish relationships, whether you're going to be using other people's money or whether you're using your own money, because you need other people in order to be successful in real estate. So when you're using a money partner, it's so important to understand what it is that they want. Are they looking for equity? Are they looking for cash flow? Do they want money right now? How much money do they have? Are they doing this through their IRA? It's so important to understand where they're coming from and what's important to them and their family. So the way you can set that up is, for example, you could do an equity split. It's really hard to find a lot of places right now in the US where you can cash flow. So you can set it up so that you're doing all the work and they're fronting the money. And maybe, let's say, in 3 to 5 years, you have an option to sell and you guys can split that equity, maybe 30-70, 20-80, whatever it is that the numbers make sense for them, and then leave some for you too. There's so many different ways you can go with this when it comes to a money partner, but like I said, it's just key that you understand what it is they're looking for and hope that you can get some benefit from it as well. The next way you can buy real estate with no money is wholesaling. This is incredibly difficult, takes a lot of time, and you're not going to make any money from it. If you were to wholesale, that means that you would be cold calling or door knocking or sending direct mail, which costs a lot of money. And once you get a deal, you would have to get it deep enough, meaning discounted enough, that you can take a large enough commission or marketing fee, or just you can get paid from buying the property so that you can buy the property with no money. So a great example of this is we bought a property for, let's just say, $100,000. What we did was we told the seller we were going to pay them $125,000. Well, it was actually $127,000, but $27,000 of that was going to be commissioned to us. So essentially, we used that $27,000 as a down payment, and we're no money out of pocket and now own a quadplex. Not a lot of lenders will let you do that, so it's really important to talk to your lender. Again, build that relationship with them and see if that's something that they'll let you do, or if they know any lenders who will let you do that. The third way you can buy real estate with no money is syndication. So syndication is when you, the manager, can find a deal that works for you and other partners. So let's say you're going to tell your investors, usually with syndication you have multiple investors, and let's say you tell them that you're going to give them a 10% return. You would need to find a deal that allows for them to get the 10% return and then leave you with some on the table as well. Syndication requires a lot of trust from your money partners because most of the time there's multiple partners in it, and you have to have a really strong conviction as to why this deal is going to work and why and how they're going to get their money back. So it's important that you're very confident in your numbers and they make sense, and you've had other people review it. I know when we're looking at deals, we don't do syndication, but if I were to do syndication, I would be talking to multiple investors about my syndication before I even presented it to my money partners, because I want to make sure that their money is safe and they feel safe investing with me, because it's going to make them want to invest with you more. Syndications are typically lower, safer returns, but again, it's a safer investment typically because syndicators usually have a larger track record and more success before they just go into a $20 million deal. A lot of funds obviously do syndication. They'll pull together money from many investors. They've been doing it for years, and they have a great track record proving that they give you a 6% return or 8%, 4%, whatever it may be over time. And if you're okay with that as a lender, then it's usually a decent investment. Syndication can also require a lawyer. So you can do a fund, you can just raise the money yourself, but there's usually a lot of docs required and it can be a costly investment. It's usually something for more experienced investors who are now looking to take it to the next level and invest in a larger deal. And the last method, which isn't really no money out of pocket, is the BRRRR method. If you're not familiar with BiggerPockets, I highly recommend you go check it out, where their biggest #1 strategy is BRRRR. BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, refinance, repeat. So you will need an initial amount to buy your first property. This is something we've done. So let's say you buy a property at $60,000 and it needs $15,000 worth of work. You fix it up, get it all ready to get rented, and it's worth $100,000. So you're all in at $75,000 and you go refinance and you can pull out that $25,000. Now, when you're buying a house at $60,000 and putting $15,000 into it, you're probably all in around $35,000, depending on your closing costs, how much your lender required you to put up front, depending on how they structure the rehab, if you have to come up with all the money. Again, the relationship with your lender is so important because terms mean everything when it comes to these deals. So let's just say you were all in around $25,000, $30,000. That was your initial investment. And at the end of the day, when you go to refinance, you just pulled out $25,000. You basically got all your money back, sometimes even more, sometimes a little less, depends on how good the deal is. But that's a way that you can buy real estate with essentially no money. However, it is going to take that first chunk of money at the beginning, but then you can go do it over and over again. That's the 4th R, which is repeat. So once you get that going, it's essentially just a snowball effect, and you can keep taking that $25,000 and reuse it over and over and over again. So these are some of the strategies we use to buy real estate with no money. We're always looking to do more. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help and go into more detail about each of these scenarios and see which best fits you. Thanks.